Good morning, folks. This video is about my feral Muscovy ducks. These are all ducklings that I caught when they were about 2 weeks old, and I wanted to make this video to share my experience with feral Muscovy ducks as opposed to ones you might order or get from a friend, and why I chose to get feral ones or wild ones living in the city. As opposed to fully domesticated ones. So, first reason for me, hey Bubba, can you go a little bit to your left? We want to see the ducks. Yeah, there you go, or right. So anyway, number one reason for me is they were free. Low risk for me. I could just go grab some. There's a ton of wild or feral Muscovy ducks where I live. So it's not something difficult for me to come across. Second reason I like these feral Muscovy ducks is they have spent tens of generations in this environment, and this environment has been selecting for the most survivable ducks. And as you can see, they have a little killer instinct. They chase flies around their pen, and they are brutally tough. I have not pampered these ducks whatsoever. The biggest thing I'm trying to do is give them plenty of access to greens. You can see they like to eat the greens and nibble at everything, and so that's a big part. And I want to feed them as little as possible, which sounds mean, but when you watch them, they like that little gray bucket or pot there. It has feed for them. But what I see them mostly doing is eating the weeds and chasing flies around the pen. And they are extremely coordinated. I don't know if you would get this with feral or with fully domesticated Muscovies, but these feral ones are extremely coordinated, and they can catch flies out of the air. I was feeding some a few weeks back, and they were catching bread out of the air as well. So they're just like, I've never seen a chicken do that, and so that's pretty impressive. Alright, the other reason I went for Muscovy ducks is because they are dual purpose. They're a meat bird. I've eaten some feral ones. They're good protein. The females will also lay eggs. Not a ton of eggs, but probably about a quarter as many as a good chicken would, if that. So really, they're here for an efficient producer of protein. That's their role in my backyard. So if that's through eggs or if that's through meat, I don't really care. I prefer eggs because I don't have to butcher anything. But at the end of the day, the males produce a lot of meat, and so I will likely keep most of my females and eat most of my males. The other big reason I wanted ducks in general is because my chickens would scratch out little holes pretty much anywhere that they were. They would scratch out little holes in the ground and dust bathe, and they would expose tree roots, and it was just, it's like having a yard full of potholes. So obviously ducks aren't going to scratch. They're flat-footed, they run around, and they don't dig holes. And they do most of the same basic things. Now, in a deep litter system, scratching is good. I want them to scratch, which is what my chickens are on now. But when they're on grass or on pasture, I don't want them to do that, because they destroy a patch of grass and dig a hole. So that is not good for me, and it's not what I'm going for in my backyard. The other benefit to these things is they're tough. I mentioned earlier that they're tough, but another part of that is they are growing very quickly, and they're not even getting the best of the best food. As you can see, they're chasing around flies to get protein. Great. I want an animal that will take care of itself, and because the more that animal takes care of itself, the less I have to take care of it, which saves me more time and effort and money. And so these these ducks really do pull their own weight, and so far I'm really liking them. I got them at probably about 2 weeks old. That's my estimate, and I think now they're probably had them for 3 or 4 weeks, and they've just grown exponentially on not very much feed, not very much care, and they haven't gotten sick, whereas my chickens have gotten sick and have gotten a little unhealthy. So that is a huge benefit. And look at them, they dig through the grass and look for snails and bugs and everything. So when I first got these, they were very, very skittish, and if I was even outside in the yard, they could see me, they would be at the back of their cage hiding. As you can see right now, just a few weeks later, they are running around in front of me. They really don't care. Now, if I get up and move towards them, they'll probably go to the back of their cage. So there's still some of that feral skittishness, which honestly is fine. It doesn't bother me. So, in conclusion, this is an experiment with feral ducks, feral Muscovy ducks, and seeing how they will adapt to my backyard and the management I provide for them, and the services they provide for me, protein and fertilization. So they've got a little gray bucket of food, that turquoise bowl of water, and they have been doing very well on very little maintenance and management. So I'll move this cage every so often, just kind of whenever I feel like it, and they have not complained so far. So I'm really enjoying them. And one more note is they will eat anything similar to a chicken. I made some videos on what chickens will and won't eat, and well, I've only made videos on what they will eat because they eat everything. So these ducks pretty much have eaten everything I'm giving them to. That white stuff that duck was nibbling on is actually passion fruit. It was an unripe passion fruit that wasn't very good, but that duck seems to find some interest in it. So there you have it. I hope this made some sense, and I'm going to be starting a whole breeding project with these ducks, hopefully soon. And anytime I need, oh, get that fly. Anytime I need new blood, there's a whole bunch of feral ducks out there to choose from. Oh, speaking of breeding projects, the other reason I got these ducks is because they are excellent mothers. They'll sit on anything, any kind of egg, and so I have a chicken breeding project that I want to do as well with some feral chickens. And so I just need a rooster. None of my hens will sit on eggs, so all I need is a rooster for a couple weeks to fertilize all my hens, and then I'm going to let one of these, and hopefully one of these is a hen, and I'll let her sit on the eggs and hatch out some little feral crossed with high egg production chicks, and we'll see how that goes. So anyway, hope this has encouraged you to get some Muscovy ducks, and if you're in the area, once I get these guys up and breeding, I'll definitely have some ducks to give away if anyone wants some, and hopefully some chicks as well. So I'm breeding for survivability and somewhat tameness, but I mostly want animals that are going to survive and are predator resistant, and these guys certainly are, especially once they're adults. So as they get bigger, I'll be able to let them out of their cage more and do some pest management in the backyard. Alright, have a great day, guys. Bye.